I got a whole lot of swords here. Now listen, you guys know how much I have touted, I have spoken about Dragon King's modern warrior series of katana, wakizashi, and tanto. I have called it the Holy Trinity. So this is version 1 of the Holy Trinity, and now this is the new and improved Holy Trinity. There's so much that has changed, but so much that has always stayed the same. You like to have consistency. If they're going from version 1 to version 2, you want to make sure they're carrying over everything that made version 1 excellent into version 2, and also giving you some improvements that would entice you on basically upgrading to the newer version. Having cut with these, having used version 1 and using version 2 a little bit so far, I would say no matter which one you go with, they're quality swords. They're really fun to play with, fun to swing around, fun to cut in your backyard with. They're all pretty much light to medium cutters at best. They're not really heavy cutters, but I have pushed these version 1s pretty far against branches and stuff like that, against harder materials, and they still pretty much stayed solid. I didn't find any problems with anything unloosening, anything wiggling around, no problems with the edges or bending of the blades or anything like that. It's been pretty much okay for version 1, and I'm imagining with version 2 would be the same solidity. Like I was saying, I think that whichever version you go with, I think you're going to get pretty much a good quality standard in these modern katana, wakizashi, and tanto. You still have this beautiful unibody construction that you had with version 1 with the Minuki kind of glued in, everything. You can't take these things apart. You have the same quality subas for the most part, iron style subas. The Minukis look great details, and that really well-made G10 on the handles. The only difference between the two G10 handles is the fact that they are a little bit longer. On version 2, G10s just change. I mean, you can't really get the same G10 handle from sword to sword exact. I do find ridges on, I think, all 3 of them that give you a little bit more grip compared to the old one. Not to say that these had bad grip, these just have a little bit more textile feel to give you a little bit more grip on the hand. Version 2 still has the copper habaki that you have, the copper seppas and the copper habaki with that really excellent fit around the blade, okay, with no gaps or anything like that. Polished, good looking copper habaki. This is like kind of a little for cat or lions or types of big cat Minukis, and these are new dragon Minukis, which I have an opinion on them. I'm trying not to kind of stab myself, which I actually did already, because I have blades all over the place here. I have enough blades here to kind of scare Highlander if he came in here. You have a little bit of a grip that it protrudes a little bit and you feel it on your hand, as opposed to the other ones which are a little bit more flatter. But I got used to it pretty quick, and after a couple of swings I did not feel the Dragon Minuki protruding out a little bit more. But just to be noted, it does come out a little bit more, protrudes out from the handle more, and you do feel it in your hand a little bit more. Katanas, you have 2 hands on it and your hands in a different spot, so you don't feel it as much. The version 1s are all straight Hirazukuri geometric, which makes it also a little bit thinner behind the edge. The 2 tantos compared, which I still am loving the version 1 tanto, and if you got this one, you're not going to go wrong. I love that devastating tip, which you don't really have in a version 2. So if you like this is just still one of my favorite tantos, is the version 1. The big surprise on the version 2 is the fact that it does have a Unokubi Zukuri geometric, which is a big surprise, and I was really happy to see that they kind of changed it up to those 2 geometrics right there. Okay, so you have Hirazukuri, now you have a Unokubi Zukuri with the bohi, so that's a big difference right off the bat there. Here's a devastating tip Hirazukuri, and here is a less devastating tip but a really beautiful geometric with the Unokubi Zukuri. Now the katana is a Shinogi Zukuri, so it has a little bit more meat behind the edge to make it a little bit more durable, I think, compared to the Hirazukuri. So if I see them side to side, it looks like there's a little bit more behind the edge, not much, but a little bit more, and then we'll weigh them and see basically what the weights are as well. And listen, the polish, big difference. Different geometric, Shinogi Zukuri, Wakizashi Shinogi Zukuri, and you have Unokubi Zukuri on the Tanto. The polish work on the version 2s are an improvement. They improved it. You can see on the video, this is more of a flat, like a matte finish on version 1, which is not bad. Still, the hamon is prominent for the most part. Here you have kind of a two-tone type of dimension with more of a polished type of finish, better polishing work on the version 2s, and obviously the addition of the bohi on all 3 models.
Let's highlight the dimensions and weight that has changed from version 1 to version 2. Version 2's katana blade is 1 inch 1/2 longer, with more thickness on the spine being a different geometric. The new wakizashi also has a slightly longer blade. Some may prefer a longer blade with more extension, although the G10 handles are generally the same dimensions, other than a more grippy textile feel. The Tanto, however, 4/10 of an inch shorter on version 2, probably because of the shorter point. In terms of weight, the wakizashi versions are pretty close, but the katana version 2 is 2.29 pounds compared to 1.87 pounds on the original. This is most likely due to the thicker Shinogi Zukuri geometric and the longer blade. I would say it's an improvement and still a very light and lively blade to handle and control confidently. Cutting with this katana was very impressive. Witness the extreme control maneuverability of this blade to promote precisely controlled cuts. I was able to get the point to go exactly where I wanted to go. A very nimble, great cutting sword. Also possessing a very, very sharp, keen edge, it was able to slice through targets the way you would expect a sharp katana blade to perform. One of the absolute best reverse grip cutters I have ever used. I was able to achieve perfect and precise cuts.
Wow. Damn. This thing is nimble, very sharp, very manageable. Damn.
While I wouldn't classify this as a prominent tatami cutter, it can slice through it well enough to use it as so, the solid-bodied construction, as well as the well-balanced, keen cutting geometric present to its user, a sword with great dynamics, balanced and pleasant cutting experience. I think this would also be a great practitioner's practicing tool.
So guys, in conclusion, I am only going to summarize what we already know about this Modern Warrior series, which I coined the Holy Trinity. You have a tight, unibodied, modern style construction. Great materials like G10, solid G10 saya, solid fit and finish, no wiggle, no rattle, no moving parts, and 3, no maintenance, being a modern style type of Japanese weapon. You have the well-known and very well done craftsmanship of Dragon King, headed by Frenchy Jin. So now comes version 2. Everything was carried over. You still have the same quality construction, the same modern feel of these pieces, along with the low maintenance option. They still kept them nimble and they still kept them very manageable and very good cutters. I believe they increased the sharpness, cutting geometric, increased the geometric to a more widely acceptable Shinogi Zukuri, and giving you a little nice option of the Tanto in the Unokubi Zukuri. I really love the improvements in the polishing work, how much more prominent the hamon is. They're just beautiful looking blades and more a testament to what Dragon King can offer. So what do we have here, guys? We have the Holy Trinity Part 2, the Modern Warrior Series version 2. New and improved, gives you everything that was great and gives you some improvements that will make you want to kind of go in and go with version 2. But again, I believe that both versions give you a little bit of everything depending on what you're looking for. But a nice improvement from Dragon King on version 2 of the Modern Warrior series. I'm looking forward to what else they have to offer as time progresses on. But of course, I will get that to you as soon as they get it to me. I appreciate you watching and supporting my channel. Hit all the normal buttons, guys. Trying to get myself up to 10,000 and over. And I appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next video. Joe Steele out. Ciao.